Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining. It's good to have you. Hey Katrina, welcome to you. What's the best collagen? So this is from Kara. So she was asking about what the best collagen is. A lot of people are wondering about oral collagen supplementation and things like that. Not really necessary. Um, Hold on one second. Actually, be right back. Forgot to. Audio on this boy. Alrighty. Okay, back for real now. So sorry if there's getting some echo on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, but good to have you guys. So best collagen. I don't really recommend oral collagen supplementation. It's not really proven to be that effective or anything. There have been a couple studies and people using it for wound healing and things like that, and showed some benefit. So hey Selena, hey, good to have you here. What's up? Hey William, good to see ya. So Kara has dry, loose skin on her face, so you're gonna want to get on a good anti-aging regimen. And one of the best things that you can do would be using like vitamin C serums and adapalene or another retinoid. This is gonna help you formulate new good collagen. You may not get the skin tightening that you're looking for. With just those things. Other more aggressive things, procedural options like microneedling with radio frequency and things like that can really be helpful. Thank you so much, Selena. I appreciate it. So feel free to keep the questions coming. For dark spots, Gabriella, one of the best things I've been talking about a lot is this Faded by a company called Topicals, Faded by Topicals. And it has 5 hyperpigmentation fighting ingredients in it. Using a great mineral-based sunscreen every single day is essential. If you're not doing that, you'll never end up getting better with that without that. Because the sun is gonna just flare up those melanocytes, drop melanin more in your skin, and you're gonna keep having dark spots. Underarms are black. How to get them white? So this is a common problem. Underarms can be dark. Sometimes you can have extra kind of skin buildup there. You want to use really good moisturizers that have gentle acids in it. So usually like alpha hydroxy acids like lactic acid, glycolic acid. So a couple options actually I have here. So this is Ameliorate. This is a alpha hydroxy acid. I do have a link in my bio with a discount. You can apply this to your underarms. You can do it to dark areas on the neck. Some people get to the elbows and such. And this, over a period of months, will help. Another option would be using a glycolic acid. So this is Trust the Bits. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate it. So this is Glytone. This is actually a glycolic acid moisturizer. And you can use that as well. Both of them are very gentle and kind of chemically exfoliate and thin that skin out. So William says, I've been on sulfamethoxazole for about 5 months now, but I haven't had any severe breakouts. How should I wean off of it? Well, that's something, so that's basically a strong antibiotic that's really actually pretty good for nodulocystic acne. It has can have some serious side effects, and that's why a lot of dermatologists don't use it that often. But I would talk to your doctor about how to wean off of it. That's not something I probably want to get into with you here, you not being my patient. But there's definitely an opportunity if you're doing good on your retinoids, you're doing good with the other skincare, you may be able to back off of your thing. But the antibiotic itself is not a cure for the acne. So, and you're welcome, Kara. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so I do new YouTube videos every Thursday at 7 p.m. and then I'm doing like these live Q&As Sundays at noon. I'm also on Twitch or YouTube, so feel free to ask questions there too if that's more convenient for you. Sometimes a lot of the questions get caught, they get like lost on TikTok because once it picks up, then once it gets picked up, it's hard to follow all the questions. So Lev asked about, should I use adapalene 1% forever? So adapalene has benefits for your long-term use. You definitely can continue using it in the long term. That's no problem. It actually has a lot of anti-aging benefits too. So I think it's a good option for you. I think most people that are in their 20s and 30s could benefit from using it. So I would recommend using it. Why does my hyaluronic acid peel off? It could be the fact that it's wintertime. It's wintertime, the air's super dry. That kind of dries up and it can kind of crust off if there's not enough hydration. It's really best to use probably in the spring and the summer when it's a bit more humid out, because then you're pulling a lot of that hydration and moisture from the air and you're keeping it on your skin. In the wintertime, there's like almost no humidity, so you might be getting in trouble with that. Thank you all for joining. Smoke Taco. No, I thought about correcting you on the percentage, but I knew what you're talking about, so I don't worry about it. Gotcha. And William, you're welcome. Happy to help anytime. So we got Lauren. Just switch from adapalene to Tret, and I'm breaking out more. Should I push through? I definitely think that you should push through. The tretinoin is a bit more effective than adapalene. It's a little stronger, and your skin can definitely get a little dry and irritated and potentially have some breakouts like once you start. I think once you're 6 to 8 weeks in, you're gonna just see good steady improvement. So I would do that. I would stick to it. I think it's great. That's one of the best things. It's one of the most common things I prescribe for acne for any of my patients. Let's see. How long? So this is from Tall. Is it Tall? Yeah. How long should my face peel with tretinoin? I've cut back to every 2-3 days. I'm using it a month. So every 2 to 3 days is pretty low frequency. I'd say, backing off any more than that, you're probably not going to get a great benefit from it. You may want to consider at this point even cutting it with moisturizer. So take like a half a pea-sized amount of the tretinoin with a half of bit of lotion, and then moisturizer. You can actually mix those together and apply them. That may be a nice option for you. Sometimes the peeling can last for 6-8 weeks. Some says medicine. I'm not sure what that means. So this is Actor. I'm using tretinoin. Can the ordinary 5% lactic acid during the day with SPF? You definitely can. AHAs and tretinoin are nice combinations together, but both can be a little bit drying. So you want to, if you're going to do them at bedtime, you probably want to alternate nights. But using the lactic acid in the morning is okay. You just definitely want to use sunscreen, as you mentioned, because it can make you more sensitive to the sun. So I would definitely do that. Can azelaic acid improve texture? I don't think of azelaic acid that much as a good texture improving topical medication. So I wouldn't really count on it for that. It is labeled as an acid, but other things like mandelic acid or glycolic acid are going to be a lot more effective for texture problems. You tell me over the counter. So you tell me over the counter medicine. So we're getting closer some, but I still don't know exactly what you're saying. Suggestions for super sensitive skin for severe rosacea. So this is Moon Goddess. So super sensitive skin with rosacea. So a lot of things can flare up folks with rosacea skin. So I would recommend switching entirely to Vanicream products. Those are products that are developed at Mayo Clinic, and they're really good for people with rosacea. You got to be aware of your triggers. So UV exposure, heat, sunlight, as I said, spicy food, hot food, alcohol. They can all be triggers for rosacea for people. So you want to find out kind of if there's anything that does trigger you and try to avoid that the best you can. With tretinoin, should I exfoliate? So Gracie, we usually don't recommend manual or physical exfoliation really that much in dermatology, but I will say for years I did this, and it actually was actually pretty nice. I actually liked it more because you weren't dealing with flaking and peeling every day. When you put on moisturizer after exfoliating, your skin felt super smooth. So I personally don't have any trouble with it. There are a couple different things out there now. I think it's like the PMD brush, that's a silicone brush, the Foreo brushes. I would use a silicone one instead of the other one. Clarisonic, actually, it was apparently going out of business. That was Clarisonic MD. That's the one I used for years. And the brush heads and stuff got a little dirty, and you had to change them frequently, or otherwise you'd end up with more breakouts. So I think it's fine to do personally, but I think that's a controversial topic that a lot of people would say don't do it. Gabriella, can I use mandelic acid, vitamin C, and gram-active retinoid together? So at different times, I would say, I would rotate the mandelic and the retinoid at bedtime, and then you can use your vitamin C in the morning. And Tall, you're welcome. What's the strongest over-the-counter retinoid? Pretty much adapalene. So adapalene is the strongest one you can get over the counter. Adapalene and Differin are the strongest ones you can get. So everything else is pretty much a retinol. But La Roche-Posay adapalene is the one I like, so you can use that. Using adapalene, and I have super dry, red, flaky skin around my eyelids and neck where you're not even using it. Well, you may have very sensitive skin. One thing you could do is you could potentially apply moisturizer as a barrier on your neck and Vaseline on your eyelids before you apply your retinoid at bedtime to try to keep things off of it. That would be my best bet. A lot of times people end up touching their face and then touching their eyelids, or touching their face, touching their neck. So if you have a like that other barrier on, it may help decrease the sensitivity there. Red spots from acne. So Jocelyn, one of the best things you can do for that is talk to your dermatologist in person, and they can get you laser treatment, which is going to be probably the most effective thing. Sunscreen is very important. This is like fresh baby skin, basically, so you want to protect it from the sun, SPF 30 to SPF 50 every day. And then you also can consider using stuff like tranexamic acid and things like that, which can help kind of get your skin kind of back to normal. So this is tranexamic acid. You could try that if you wanted. These things are more for like hyperpigmentation, but this might be a nice option for you. This is actually very affordable too, so worth a try. Let's see. Thank you, Levi. I appreciate it. I'm so happy to. Yeah. So if you haven't checked out my other videos, like I literally have hundreds on the TikTok. I also do like 3 to 5 minute videos on YouTube. So you can come over there. I talk about things a little bit more at length, but all my TikTok videos are pretty quick. So you can feel free to come over and check that out. Lauren, you're welcome. Love answering you guys' questions. Real good questions already today. So keep them coming. Gabriella, can I use mandelic acid, vitamin C, and gram-active reds? So I answered this once already. I'll do it one more time. I would rotate the mandelic acid and the gram-active at bedtime. Rotate them. And then vitamin C you can use in the morning. So thanks so much for the great question, Gabriella. Anything from hands? My hands are so dry. So yeah, so for your hands, and this is going to H-Deer. So H-Deer, hand dermatitis is tough. It's winter, it's COVID, so we're sitting there washing our hands like constantly. So that's really challenging. At bedtime, about the best thing you can do is actually apply Vaseline to your hands before you go to bed, so you get a nice occlusive barrier on there. So that's a real nice option. But during the daytime, Vaseline and stuff is often too greasy. So one of my favorite go-tos is actually using dimethicone-based moisturizers. So this is like the CeraVe Therapeutic Hand Cream. It has dimethicone in it, and dimethicone is it like really seals in the skin without being like too sticky or greasy. So I think that would be a good option for you. Some people like the Norwegian hand cream by Neutrogena. So this is the hand cream I just showed you here. So it's quite nice. It goes on. It's not too greasy. You could apply it after washing your hands to seal in some moisture. So I would recommend doing something like that. The Norwegian hand cream by Neutrogena is a bit more. It is a bit more greasy, but they're both really great. The CeraVe, of course, has there's like no fragrance to it. It does have ceramides, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, so it's got a lot of good moisturizing factors too. So, but definitely a very relevant question with as cold as it's been. Hopefully it's... which do I like better, the Foreo or the PMD brush? So, real talk, I was supposed to be trying a Foreo brush, but they never have really got back to me. We've been going back and forth, and I still never tried it. I think overall I like the Foreo design and that a little bit better. But I say go with, I think you're not wrong to go with either one. I think, you both of them get that, like, that vibration. Both of them have silicone. So I think, in some ways they're more similar than different. But I would, yeah, I think either one would be good. I don't know which one's cheaper, to be honest. Cold weather, my lips get super dry. What can I use? Yeah, things with perfume makes it worse. So yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, a lot of fragrance things. If you have dry, irritated skin, you're definitely going to have more trouble. You're going to have more trouble on, your lips. So the best things you can do, the simplest and gentlest things you can do for your lips when it's cold and dry would be using Vaseline. You can use Eucerin. You can use Aquaphor. All of those are really good options. If you're at bedtime, if you're wanting to use something to kind of like exfoliate your lips, I have a thing. It's kind of close by. Let me grab it real quick. So this is actually by the same company. This is by the same company. It's Ameliorate again, and this is like a lactic acid. This is a lactic acid lip therapy. Now they do have there is some type of fragrance in this. I don't know exactly what it is, but it almost smells a little bit powdery. And that's because lactic acid doesn't always smell the best. So I'm sure they probably put something in it to kind of help with that. But this is really nice to use on bedtime as a leave-on treatment to help smooth your lips overnight. So let's see. We've got a couple questions here from YouTube or TikTok. I hate that I can't see the names real well on this. So Erno asked, we got two questions. So the other one is, just make this black so I can see better. So yeah, Salima, should we use salicylic acid cleanser in the same routine while using tretinoin? That's a great combination, so absolutely. And then we got Erno's question. Hi doctor, what's your opinion about the Revox products? So I actually haven't used any Revox products, so I can't really comment on that. But if you're using them, you like them, stick with it. I haven't used them personally, so I'm not 100% sure on that. What's the best for age spots? So sunscreen every single day, vitamin C serum like Vichy in the morning, and then a retinoid like adapalene at bedtime. So that would help with that. Let's see. Do you like peptide collagen creams, and what are affordable brands you recommend, if so? So some of my favorite peptide creams actually come from the company called Neocutis, but they're not affordable. So they're actually pretty expensive, but they got good science. If you just want a basic peptide cream, I would actually just get the ordinary buffet. And so it's really nice. It's one of my favorite products. This bottle's empty because I burnt through it. But this is the ordinary buffet. This is a peptide serum basically with hyaluronic acid. And so it feels great on the skin when you put it on. I think that anybody really like it. It's very affordable. I think it's less than probably $12 or $13. So that would be a nice option for you if you're looking for affordable. How do I get rid of spider veins on my face? Well, we have to address those differently than we do on the legs. On the legs, we can actually inject them with a sclerosant, which actually kind of irritates and destroys the vessels, and they kind of fade away with time. For ones on the face, we can't inject them. We actually need to treat them with a laser. And so I would just treat them with a laser, and they do real good. By the way, I have 49 subscribers on Twitch, and I'd love to have 50. So if someone wants to be my 50th Twitch subscriber follower, that would be amazing. I'd appreciate the support. Also, if you guys are getting anything out of this and you think maybe a friend would get something out of this, feel free to share the stream too, so we can reach more people. So hi, can I mix tranexamic acid and vitamin C in the morning routine? Yeah, that's totally fine. You can do that. No problem. Which is good? AHA, BHA. Oh, sorry. The thing's skipping here a little bit. We can go back. Which is no, wait. I'm trying to get back to where we were at. Okay. Which is good, AHA, BHA, or lactic acid or glycolic acid for dry skin? So overall, lactic acid is probably the best for that. So things like amlactin. I'm going to kind of rip through some of these because we got a lot of good questions. I want to get through them. Hair loss and dry scalp. So for dry scalp, sometimes is it psoriasis? Is it dandruff? You know, is it something, contact dermatitis or something? There's a variety of things it could be. I would see a doctor and actually get a good accurate diagnosis for that. Do you have recommendations for treating cellulite? So this is from Soulful. So there are no good topical treatments to treat cellulite. Nothing you're going to put on the top of your skin is going to help. But there are a lot of good. There's actually a brand new injectable medication that you can get at your dermatologist called Quo. And you can inject that into the cellulite, and it helps break down the bands that cause the dimple in the skin. Another more physical way to do it is you go to the dermatologist and you get a treatment called Selfina. And they actually numb the skin up, and then they actually put in like a little blade, and they actually kind of break those bands that cause the tethering of the cellulite dimples. So those are both really good options for you. What is your opinion on PRP for female pattern hair loss? PRP is working on getting really good research. I think most people like it. It's a little bit expensive for people is the only bad thing. Over-the-counter minoxidil is, proven to help with hair loss, so that's a good option. But PRP is a great option for people that get the money for it and they're looking for some help. Please take good sunscreen. You have spider veins on the eyes. My favorite sunscreen ever is Elta MD UV Clear. It's linked in my bio as well. I don't have my Elta MD here right now to grab, or I'd show you, but it's Elta MD UV Clear. Can wearing masks cause acne? It definitely can. So Cotton Candy asked that question. And then I want to get a couple questions over here. So Neutrogena products, as Dr. Dre uses it more often in her videos, can you recommend a sunscreen for oily, acne-prone skin? So the same thing goes. The Elta MD would be really good for you. I think this is coming from YouTube or Twitch. Can you please recommend me a sunscreen product for oily face? So same thing, Elta MD UV Clear, or you could use Color Science. Color Science sunscreen is a mineral-based sunscreen that's also tinted, and it's really, really good. So it's like one of my favorite ones next to Elta MD. So all those are really good for oily skin. Some of the La Roche-Posay ones can feel a little oily, so on oily skin. Yeah, Ben. Thanks for the coffee. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Should we use niacinamide and tretinoin in the same routine? So let's see. This is from Solhawa. So yes, those are great combination treatments. You can definitely use both of those together. And then for Amita, ask about cream for under eye wrinkles. So for under eye wrinkles, I would definitely look at the link in my bio because I have a whole eye cream section. Neocutis is my favorite. If you're looking for something cheap, you can use the ordinary caffeine eye serum. And then WCL ask about deep leaven lines and wrinkles. So when you're dealing with deep wrinkles like that, especially the 11s, which are the lines that kind of like come down here, when people are looking angry. What you want to do for that is you want to actually get Botox or another neuromodulator. And they last about 3 or 4 months. They can be a little bit expensive, but they're certainly worth it. And Erno, you're very welcome, and I hope that helps you guys. So I'm back over, so Twitch questions. So Essling, you're welcome. Stop says, hello, doctor. Hey, what's up? Alvi, what moisturizer would you recommend for dehydrated and oily, sensitive skin? You could try, if you want to use amlactin or something like that, you certainly could. That's an alpha hydroxy acid moisturizer for dry skin. What do you recommend for back acne when benzoyl peroxide or SA doesn't work? Yeah, so Sam, that's a pretty common issue. A lot of times back acne does require prescription treatments from a dermatologist. So I would actually recommend, seeing a dermatologist and getting oral prescription treatments, because a lot of times back acne is going to be a little too resistant for that. Please tell me something for open pores. So for Yeah, so pores are, first of all, they're genetic mostly, and they're normal. To improve the appearance of pores, you could use adapalene, the retinoid that we've been talking about. This guy, you could use that at bedtime, and you want to use a great sunscreen, because sunscreen is gonna be the thing that helps prevent them from getting worse. Sun damage can make them look worse. What do you recommend for adult acne? And it's okay. Adult acne brought on suddenly, thinking it's from the mask. So for mask acne, one thing that can be really helpful for a lot of people is azelaic acid. You can get azelaic acid from The Ordinary, and you can use that. It's really gentle. It doesn't really dry your skin that much or anything. It's pretty well tolerated. It's got a little bit of antibacterial properties and a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, so you can use that. What we recommend for pregnancy skincare, this is from SMA. So the things you can use in pregnancy, pretty much you're kind of limited. So you want to use things like azelaic acid. That one's okay. There's some other prescription things that you can use that you'd have to get prescribed to you. But you want to use just gentle cleansers and things like that. So you're kind of limited. Which is good for dry skin? AHA, BHA, lactic. So we answered this one. I'll answer it one more time. Lactic acid is probably the best. Is lactic, so it is good for exfoliation because it's gentle. So lactic acid is just good for dry skin overall. This is D35. So yeah, it's a great option for lip exfoliation. It is fairly gentle. So Amita is asking about pigmentation removing cream. So again, I'll show this. This is by the company Topicals. This is a cream called Faded, and it has 5 different hyperpigmentation fighting ingredients, and it's only $30. So that's a real nice option for you. And then I got the question from Mary Campos about using Vaseline on your face after nighttime routine. Any thoughts? So for that, I actually just did an article. It's going to be coming out soon on slugging, which is basically this practice of applying Vaseline on your face. And the thing is, Vaseline, apparently is non-comedogenic, but it is still an occlusive. We know it blocks a majority of transepidermal water loss through our skin, so that's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. You definitely can get people with flares of rosacea or acne from doing it. Silhawa, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. Maybe we're at 50 now, so that's awesome. So I like Vaseline on just targeted areas, applying it to the lips, applying it to the eyelids if needed. If you have a particular area of a breakout or maybe like an open sore or something, an acne spot you've picked at too much, that's the best place, I think, to apply Vaseline. So sorry, a little bit behind on the questions on TikTok. Sam, we talked about that. What do you expect for 2-year-old very dry lips? Vaseline, Eucerin, or Aquaphor is good. Cicaplast by La Roche-Posay. That's a nice option, especially if your nose is starting to get irritated over the top of where your mask rubs. So the Cicaplast, I actually have that right here too. So this is a nice option. It's like basically a barrier cream, and soothing balm. So that's a nice option for sure. You're welcome, Rose. Happy to help. Mom, you're welcome. Let's see. I did do the giveaway on YouTube. I think I commented on the person's post that won it and pin it to the top. So I certainly appreciate you entering, but I'm definitely gonna do another one. I mean, I'm almost at 1,000 now, so I kind of feel like I should do another giveaway. Let's see. So I'm scrolling up. Coconut oil once a week. Coconut oil is okay. I mean, a lot of derms don't like it. If for people that have eczema and stuff and they feel like it helps, I tell them, okay, go for it. But it's not something I typically recommend for people. Arginine, I don't know about and haven't used it. Do you recommend Botox and fillers? Yes, I've had both, and I do recommend both. I have filler in my jawline some, and I have Botox on my whole forehead and that, although it is wearing off. Retinol or Retin-A for a 52-year-old. Retin-A, if you can get it, TK would be better. I would definitely go with that. Nani is in India. How to remove tan? Well, it's kind of hard. You got to first prevent sun damage. You got to use SPF every single day. If you're not doing that, then nothing's going to help. The one thing I will say, there's a there's a product called HelioCare, which is actually a vitamin, and it's been studied in people with skin types like many would have it from India that are like skin types like 4, 5, or 6. Thank you, TK, for the flames. You can use this supplement, and it decreases tanning, and it also decreases sunburn cells and things. So again, it's actually made in Michigan here in the United States, and it's called HelioCare. But it's not going to just make you look less tan. It's more about preventing you from getting tan from the sun. Your normal skin color I would embrace, and I wouldn't try to like fight that. But if you're trying to avoid tanning and things, then sunscreen and that HelioCare might help. I have cherry hemangioma on my forehead. Can I have it removed? So yeah, if you got cherry angioma on your forehead, you can get laser therapies done, and it's a great option for you. So we talked about the back acne, tan creams. Is there a need for both Quo and Selfina? Is one better than the other? So Selfina has like longer data. Basically, it shows, I think they have data showing that it decreases cellulite for up to 5 years after the treatment. Quo is like a brand new treatment. The studies on Quo that I could tell were not really as good. They were not really as good as the Selfina. There was like, I think it was like 25% of people thought they were like extremely happy with the treatment. And the other thing that's kind of interesting is, you're injecting, it's basically collagenase. So it breaks down collagen. And after the first treatment, pretty much everybody that they tested for antibodies to the collagenase had them. So my question is going to be is how effective is repeat treatments of that? Because once your body makes antibodies to it, is it really going to be that helpful? So let's see. Solha asked, I'm missing eyelashes on, this is on Twitch. What should I do to regrow it? It's missing in between the eyelash. I hope you understand what I mean. Well, I'd go see a dermatologist because there's a lot of things that can cause eyelash loss. You could have alopecia or something of that nature. So you'd want to go get an accurate diagnosis, make sure there's not any other patches of hair loss or anything like that that would kind of help give it away. We're like experts in physical exams, so we can look at your skin, we can look at your nails and kind of help make an accurate diagnosis. We can do biopsies if we need to. And then Solhua also asked, do you recommend a physical or chemical sunscreen? So generally, if you can, I'd prefer, like the one I use is a mix of a physical and a chemical. This is a pure physical sunscreen. This is the, this is the Color Science one. So it's just, I think it's just only zinc oxide actually. So if you can use a mineral-based sunscreen, I'd say it's better, but you got to find one that's elegant. You got to find one that's not going to have a white cast in your skin. So that can be challenging. So you want to find one like the Color Science or EltaMD, and also, if you can, get a tinted one. So Aaliyah Shimmer asked, can I use bakuchiol and tretinoin at the same night? I'm sure you can. Bakuchiol is definitely no problem. It's pretty gentle. I don't know if you've ever used it, but it's like super plant-based. It smells like plants, literally, when you put it on your skin. And then, so I'd say the tretinoin overall is going to be way more effective. So that's the biggest thing, would be using that. So, and it sounds like you had a little trauma where you had that hair loss. So if you got scarring from that pimple and stuff, you may not have a whole lot of good luck on getting rid of that. On average, how many PRP treatments does one need? Usually I think like they'll do 3 or 4, and then they'll do like maintenance treatments like a couple times a year. Can I use lactic acid while using epiduo adapalene? You can. I would just use them at different times. Should I put moisturizer on before tretinoin or tretinoin first? So this is from Tolentino. So you can do it either way. I like doing tretinoin on the skin first and then applying moisturizer after. If you feel like you're super, super sensitive, you could do the moisturizer first and then tretinoin after. So all of those are good options. Best treatment for rosacea depends what you're talking about. If it's redness, you're gonna see yeah, if it's redness, you're gonna see the most improvement from laser therapy. A lot of the topical creams for redness don't work at all, hardly. If your problem is bumps and things like that, then over-the-counter azelaic acid can help. Other prescription creams like metronidazole and things like that can also help. So best to see a dermatologist for that one. And then let's see. Hi there. Hey Ronald, good to have you. And then Pink, we got that. And then Soulful coming through with all the good questions. She asked, "What is the benefit of actually tinted sunscreen?" So for one, the tinted sunscreen tends to mask the white cast of some sunscreens, so it kind of balances that out, which I think is like an added benefit. But the main benefit is there's new research showing that visible light, meaning light from like fluorescent lights or our computer screens and things like that, can actually have an effect on hyperpigmentation, which we didn't really think about initially. We thought it was all UV light exposure. So we're finding out that that visible light helps it. The only way to help the prevent that is actually use a tinted sunscreen. A lot of them have iron oxide and things like that, and that helps block that visible light and helps prevent hyperpigmentation. Does tinted sunscreen make it look like you're wearing makeup as a guy? It doesn't. You will notice, like, if I wear like a white collared shirt or something like that, sometimes you could get tinted sunscreen on the white shirt. It's certainly going to show up, but once it's on my skin, you can't even really tell that it's on there. How to heal razor bumps? I would check out. There's a company called CLN. They make a CLN body wash. If it's on the body, you could use that. If it's on the face, you could use their acne wash, and it has a antibacterial sodium or blanket. Did I have that? I thought I had it up here. I can't think of it. I'm totally blanking. Sorry, guys. But anyway, CLN, you can use that as an antibacterial. It's a good option for you. And then also it can help kind of open up those little bumps with the salicylic acid. So you could try that. Let's see. Can I use hyaluronic acid plus alpha-arbutin plus niacinamide serum after tretinoin? Yeah, those should be all fine. You can use all those together, no problem. Should be good. Any recommendations for lichen planus instead of normal treatments? None of them worked. That's something fun size you're going to have to see a dermatologist for. There's a whole lot of treatments for lichen planus. The biggest, easiest thing is using really strong topical steroids, basically. That's the best thing. There's a ton of options, though. I mean, you could do a lot of different things for that. So, under eye circles treatment. So, I would say check the link in my bio. I have an eye cream section with some of my favorites, so you can hop on there. And Neocutis is probably one of my favorites. Some people benefit from fillers with the dermatologist under the eye, so actually injecting fillers under the eye to help remove the shadowing that you get from sunken hollows under the eye. So those are some things that can help. Moisturizing cream for the face. I like the La Roche-Posay Tolerian Ultra. So this is a nice option. If you're feeling like you're really dry, this is La Roche-Posay Tolerian Ultra. If you're feeling like you're really dry, then you could try something more like the Tolerian Double Repair. Seriously, you're the best. You put me at ease. Well, thanks so much, Maureen. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here and asking good questions. Can I use Tret or Differin when I'm pregnant? Nope. You can't use it when you're pregnant or breastfeeding. It's not a good idea. There's some conflicting studies on it, but it's safer to not do it. If you're trying to get pregnant, I would just go ahead and stop it. Best OTC face mask and exfoliator. So we talked about the Foreo exfoliators. We talked about the PMD exfoliators, so you can do those things. Face masks. I mean, I don't know if I have like a particularly favorite face mask, to be honest with you. The ones I like to use are pretty much for hydration. So I just look for ones with hyaluronic acid. The Neutrogena ones, I don't think I have them down here. The Neutrogena ones are actually pretty good, but they do have a lot of fragrance in them, so that might not be the best for some people. Best treatment for rosacea redness, pink mom mask, laser therapy with your dermatologist. Go see a dermatologist, get lasered. Don't waste your money on topical creams for redness. They're like $500 and they work for an hour or something. Everyone hates them, so don't do it. Fun size, I'm seeing a derm. I've been on prednisone pills and topicals for antibiotics and those 6 months meds. So I think you were the one you were asking about the lichen planus. So yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know what your topical regimen is, but there's more options out there. You may need a second opinion. If you feel like you're not getting anywhere, go see another dermatologist. So, so Flora Chick says she's tried everything for dark spots and needs help. So I don't doubt that. Hyperpigmentation by far is one of the hardest things we treat, and oftentimes we actually don't get we don't end up like really curing it. It's more about treating it, improving it. But the biggest thing is you got to use a SPF mineral-based sunscreen that's tinted every single day. If you don't do it every day, you don't stand a chance. You're not going to get any better. And then you got to find some type of hyperpigmentation fighting ingredients. Like I said, the faded by topicals is a real nice option because it has a lot of anti-hyperpigmentation fighting ingredients in it all in one package. It's $30. SkinCeuticals makes some really great stuff too, so but it's more expensive. Main cause of acne on the cheeks. Well, acne is all often caused a lot. There's a lot of factors that cause it, but mainly it's just blocking the pores, and then you get buildup of oil in the pores, and then you get buildup of acne, bacteria in the pores, Cutibacterium acnes, and then that metabolizes those oils and breaks it down, which is very inflammatory. So that's the main cause. It's not related to your diet, most likely. It's probably not something you're doing. If you are applying, let's see. So, yeah. So I got distracted there. What's the best OTC face mask? We talked about that. Thank you so much for putting me at ease. You're welcome, Marina. Do you recommend finasteride against hair loss side effects? So I don't know. I see the Doge. I don't know if you're a guy or girl. So, for ladies, it's not much of a problem. For guys, little bit of an issue because finasteride and things has been related to some sexual dysfunction. Sounds like in studies, though, it's really been tied a little bit more to depression and anxiety. So a lot of people that had sexual dysfunction when taking testosterone, finasteride basically blocks guys from making the strong version of testosterone, DHT. So DHT is a hormone that basically allows guys to grow beards, but it also causes you to lose your hair. So it's like you grow beards and you get secondary, sex, like armpit hair, groin hair, chest hair, but you lose the hair on your head. So it's a cruel mix there. But it's like, I think it's like 10 or 100 times stronger than testosterone. So when you block that in a guy, you're probably going to lead to problems for girls and women. You guys don't, the testosterone is still important in sex drive and things like that. You guys don't have zero testosterone, you have some. But I don't really hear women complaining about that. So I would definitely do it in a woman before I would do it in a guy, but a lot of guys do benefit from it. Main cause of cheek acne, we did talk about. Can I use hyaluronic? Yeah, we talked about that. Hi, doctor. I have one question. Is there effective treatment for cellulite? So, there is. We were just talking about that earlier. Had some really good questions actually from Soulful, I believe. And so basically, there's two treatments. There's Quo, which is an injectable prescription product. You got to get at your dermatologist. They inject in the cellulite. It dissolves the bands that cause the cellulite dimple. Or you could get another procedural treatment called Selfina, and it's actually basically where like a tiny little blade is put under the skin and it cuts those bands and allows the cellulite to kind of relax. Does tinted sunscreen apply for people of color? It definitely does. It's the same thing. So I would definitely do that. Is esthetician a good career? Well, I think esthetician could be a good career for some people. Depends how you like it. I don't really know how much like they make per se. It's much different than being a dermatologist. Being a dermatologist takes a minimum of about 12 or 13 years to become one. So there's a whole lot of studies. You got to be at the top of your class almost the entire time all the way through. You got to do research. You got to volunteer. Estheticians, I think, is less well defined. Some states probably do require them to be like licensed or certified. In other states, you don't have to. So you can maybe go to like a weekend course and become an esthetician. So it's not nearly as regulated generally, but you get to do some treatments. A lot of times they'll do some mild chemical peels. They'll do things like dermaplaning, dermablading, those things. And what's my name on Leah? So my name on YouTube, the easiest way to get to it would be to click the link in my bio on TikTok. But if you look up Swole MD skincare, it's going to come up. Swole MD skincare on YouTube. And since you brought it up, I'll go ahead and throw it out there for everybody. So if you guys have got something out of this, I'd love to get your support on YouTube. So Swole MD skincare on YouTube. I drop new videos every Thursday at 7 p.m. and I do longer videos there. So they're like 3 to 5 minutes. I expand on topics, and I love doing those for you guys too, because TikTok, usually it's like 15 seconds or so. In the past, I did a whole lot of more like just music and pointing videos, but now I've been doing a little bit more educational talking videos on TikTok too. So in that regard, it's been a little bit more similar, but definitely would love your support on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch. On Twitch, I have like high definition videos and audio, so it's a little bit better. The chat's a little bit slower, so I can get to questions better. So if you want to follow me over there, always, if you want to share my stuff with friends, comment on videos, I appreciate all that. It's the biggest thing that you guys can do to help me. So I appreciate it. If we didn't address some particular skin problem you have, if you go to the link in my bio, I have a link tree linked to my Amazon store. And on the Amazon store, I have everything broken down by skin problem. And on there, like you could click on, wrinkle treatment, or you could click on dark spots. And there's a lot of great options there for you. You could click on keratosis pilaris, which is kind of that rough, bumpy skin that people get on their arms. And there's all kinds of options on there. So thank you guys so much. And then let's get back to questions here. So 10 says, thank you, you're welcome. What can I use for wrinkles and anti-aging? I'm currently trying to get pregnant, something safe. So pretty much you're kind of limited right now. The only thing I would say you could probably do is like the bakuchiol. This is the bakuchiol is basically like a retinoid or retinol alternative. Not nearly as well studied, but you could definitely try that if you wanted. So I would try that out. As bakuchiol is the same as retinol, it's different. Leah asked, is vitamin C overhyped? It is absolutely not overhyped. People don't know about it enough. People don't use it enough. It's one of the best things you can do for your skin. So outside of sunscreen and retinoid, vitamin C is the next best thing you can do. It's very good. It's photoprotective. It helps stabilize collagen. It's an awesome thing. It also tends to give you a nice glow. I think you get some of the best glows with vitamin C. Jade face rollers, I think, feel good, but it's not something that you have to do. I think it's more of taking a little time for yourself, a little spa treatment at home. If they're cool, then the nice cool can constrict the vessels and temporarily improve puffiness and redness and inflammation. So that's a nice thing. Soulful says, can topical faded be used on the legs? It certainly can. The legs, you will want to know that hyperpigmentation on the legs is really challenging. Pretty much anywhere that's further from our heart is going to be slower to heal. The darkness is going to fade slower. So you may have, if you get a cut or a scrape on your leg, you may have a dark spot there for years. And if you have darker skin tone too, you're even more prone to that hyperpigmentation. So it can really be challenging. Can I use, let's see, collagen powder? Not really about it. Moon Goddess, I'm in Indiana. What do you think about collagen powder? So right now I'm actually trying, I got sent the Khloe Kardashian collab with, I forget what the actual main company is called, but it's a collagen powder. I've been trying it just because everybody asked me about it. The biggest thing with collagen powders is they're safe, but they're probably not that effective. Rose, you're welcome. Happy to give you some of my time. Can I use, so we talked about that. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom here. Best let's see, actually. What's the best OTC vitamin C? Well, I think most people agree, Lil, that the best OTC vitamin C is SkinCeuticals. So that's one of the best ones that you can get. It's really great, but it is kind of expensive. It's stable. I hear that it doesn't smell that good. I actually haven't personally used SkinCeuticals vitamin C. Some of my favorite recommendation are the Vichy vitamin C. So Vichy makes a really, really nice vitamin C that you can use, and it's affordable. It's like $30. Some people hate on it, but the ordinary 23% vitamin C, if you do not have sensitive skin, so if your skin's not sensitive, you can use that 23% vitamin C, but it is very strong. It does burn and tingle a little bit, even on my skin. User asked the best OTC anti-aging retinoids and retinol. So over-the-counter adapalene is going to be your best friend from La Roche-Posay. It's linked in my bio. So you could do that. But if you can get prescription tretinoin, that's even better. Yes, so Camp has already subscribed. You're awesome. Thanks for all the dedicated time. You're welcome. I'm happy to do it. It's been a really fun journey with you guys. I can't believe the community we've built in a relatively short amount of time. Let's see. What do you think? So we got the collagen powder. We're going to scroll back to the bottom. Thank you guys all for joining. Can I use vitamin C while using Epiduo? You can. Mass-knee recommendations. Let's see. Mass-knee recommendations and prevention. So then I would basically, you got to change or wash your mask regularly for one. You usually, you're kind of like capturing bacteria and things like that. So you probably want something a little antibacterial too. So one option would be using like CLN acne cleanser because it has an anti-acne, or you could use a very gentle benzoyl peroxide cleanser like CeraVe 4% benzoyl peroxide cleanser. You just don't want to over irritate your skin because then when you're putting on your mask, it's going to be that much better. Is liquid collagen better than powder? No, not necessarily. What have you heard of BioCell liquid collagen? I've never used it. People are super hyped about liquid collagen. So cute. Let's see. Hi, I just bought Vichy line for mature skin. What do you think? I think Vichy is an awesome brand. They're very affordable. They kind of approach their skincare products like a luxury skincare brand. They have really good science and research behind all their products, which I think is great. Usually you don't see that unless you're using like the really, the premium stuff like Elastin or Neocutis SkinCeuticals. But Vichy does a real good job of that. So I think you've made a good choice. I love Vichy stuff. Would you recommend, this is from the Skincare Sampler. Nice name. Would you recommend using a product that combines vitamin C and ferulic acid, versatile or separate? I think if you can find a nice combination one, that's fine. If you already aren't using something that you like, I think the ferulic acid does kind of stabilize the vitamin C, so those are a nice combination. I think it was fine to use them together. And then, what's the best sunscreen for under makeup to wear daily, not greasy or white? So perfume. So there is a there's a topical. It's called Tizo. It's Tizo, and it's a primer. It's actually a sunscreen primer. So it goes on and almost has that powdery feel of a primer. So it kind of like masks pores. It makes your makeup go on nice. It is physical and it is like a little bit white. But I do think that if you're applying makeup over that, it's not greasy. It's like powdery. It feels like dry on your skin. And I think Tizo would be great. It's a little expensive, but I think if you're looking for the best one to go under your makeup, that's probably it. What is squalane oil? So it's plant-derived moisturizer, basically. I will say my experience with squalane has been I used the ordinary squalane, and I got really bad breakouts. And I'm not really that like prone to getting breakouts at this point. The only variable was I'd also switched my pillowcase at that time, and I was trying a new pillowcase like on an anti-wrinkle pillow. So I don't know what broke me out, but it could have been the squalane. So I'm not that much of a fan, but I've only had that one experience with it. So yeah, so really great questions. So thank you guys so much. So again, I do new YouTube videos Sunday or Thursdays at 7 p.m. I'm gonna start doing. I'm doing another big give. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway soon. I know I'm gonna be giving away some Babe Lash serums. So that's some serums to make your eyelashes appear longer. So I'm gonna be doing that soon. So please feel free to stay close, follow, so you know when that giveaway is going down. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing it on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. So you can follow me on those accounts. You can find me on YouTube at SwollenD. All the links to my social media profiles are in the link in my bio on TikTok. I really appreciate you guys all joining today, and you guys asked some great questions. So, yeah, thanks so much. PCA skin, I'm not familiar with. Z Greek, do you recommend anything for graft scarring besides vitamin E? So, yeah, actually, just had a really good talk with that. Vitamin E actually has some of the least evidence for scar improvement. What I would do, Z Greek, is actually look up silicone gel sheeting or onion extract, and both of those things can be helpful in scarring. The problem with grafts is sometimes if the graft is, like from a different part of the body, it's on non-sun exposed skin, I mean, it's gonna look different. It has different sun exposure. It has different amounts of oil glands and hair follicles. So this sampler loves the Sunday Q&As. Thanks so much for asking the great questions. Jackie, it's good to have you at the live. I'm glad you made it. What is the best cream? And the other thing I'd like to tell you, so for YouTube and Twitch, if you guys like want to watch this, like it's saved on YouTube and Twitch. So TikTok, when I close this, it's gone. But if you guys come over to YouTube and Twitch, these lives are all stored there. So you can come over and watch the lives if you like don't have time to do it during Sunday, you know. Best cream for rebuilding the skin barrier? Probably just like CeraVe, you know, it's got good ceramides and that. Daily cleanser with salicylic acid, a good option for that would be, I like this Vichy Normaderm. This is a 0.5% salicylic acid. It's really good for people with some mild acne or acne, so that's a real nice cleanser. Tightness around the mouth and chapped lips. Could it be from collagen cream? If your skin's getting dry and irritated, it can be from that, but I would recommend just using good moisturizers like Vaseline, Eucerin, Aquaphor. Those type of things are probably your best bet. And then Jackie got a $100 gift card to Origins. What skincare do you recommend from there? Well, from Origins, the one product I've really tried the most is actually the ginseng. You've probably seen my video on it. I'm gonna show it there. Ginseng. It's a really nice combination of like vitamin C, and it's great for a glow. So this is the product. I think is it within the $100 price range. But it smells like a little bit citrusy kind of. Goes on real smooth. So it feels great. It smells nice. It smells citrusy, like I said, and it can give you a nice glow. So maybe go with the ginseng if you got that. But again, I thank you guys for joining. Remember to check the link in my bio. If you do buy any products through that, I do get like a small fraction between like 1 and 10% of the purchase. So I appreciate your support. Thank you guys for all hopping on. Please check out my YouTube videos. I'd love to get your support over there on Twitch too. And I will plan on seeing you guys next week. So thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.